Live for Misfit.
Jeez, for a Mitchum man.
Crap. I was ready.
Athletics.
I was ready to roll with this.
Gringle
19.4, whatever, guys. 19.4. All right. Before we dive into all the stuff that I just ruined, coming out very soon for anyone that's competing at the remaining sanctional events or just getting ready to throw down, we have a competitors program that will be tailored to those of you, like I said, getting ready for something a little bigger and badder than the Open. You can download it and start it anytime, preferably 7 to 8 weeks before your competition. More details coming soon. What up?
Hey, I don't feel very good.
Sherby is in trouble. We'll pass it to Drew instead. Skip Sherb.
Please skip me.
SharpenTheXCode.com, the mother of all releases, was yesterday. We have this hat, this shirt, another shirt that looks like this, 3 separate joggers. Hunter's throwing his leg up over there to show you one of them.
So feels actually better. I'm going to do this.
Great
and actually,
example.
potentially my favorite item in all of the release are the STA hoodies. Really excited about those. We developed those ourselves. That is an original pullover hoodie. And we got some other stuff. Some Misfit shirts. Some cool stuff. So SharpenTheXCode.com. Use the code word Hunter for 0% off.
But a handwritten note.
Yes,
that
is true.
For real.
Use
code Hunter, handwritten note.
Oh,
I'll write it for you.
Okay, never mind. Sorry.
Please, everyone, use code Hunter so he has to write like 100 notes.
Jeez.
That'd be awesome.
That would be funny. I'll do it.
You're going to do it, though.
All right.
Do you have anything?
Yes.
Well, then let's go.
Last housekeeping note, teammisfit.com for all your affiliate coaching programming needs. April's program will drop in about 10 days. But other than that, let's go.
Dang. All right. We're flying through the top 20 Misfit men after 19.3. Here we go. Jonathan Wall, Chandler Smith, Cody Mooney, Nick Matthew, Travis Williams, Austin Spencer, Gio Contreras, Nate Long, Holly Holgerson, Luke Conan, Jordan Cook, Logan Southern, Aaron Osborne, Sherby.
Not for long.
Not this week.
Oh boy. Robbie McCord.
Falling hard.
Kenneth Hart. Marcus Mucenix. I'm fucking it up every week. Justin Reidelbach, Casey Viator, and Jonas Olsen. That's your top 20 men.
Where's the real Sam Quant?
Dang.
He doesn't own a phone.
He would be on there if he decided to play along.
He runs the town.
Okay. He's the only person in that town.
Okay.
All right. Top 20 Misfit ladies. Kenzie Riley, Danielle Brandon, China Cho, Alexis Johnson, Lauren Suver, Taylor Nisley, Caroline Connors, Mikkel Escobar, Rebecca Voigt-Miller, Gigi Sabatini, Jill D. Giampalo, Elena, am I screwing that up? Savage, Tia Gould, Baxter, Paige Semenza, Hannah Hardy, Nisha Purewell, Stephanie Simmons or Simons, not sure, Lizzie Bell Bruno, Mickey Nuccio, Christy Rizzo. I did pretty good this week.
Pretty good, yeah.
Not bad.
That wasn't bad.
I'm improving. By the time week 5 rolls around, I'll only
By the
screw up.
time
I
Try to get
19.6
some of
is
my
announced, you'll be
athletes
good.
to sign up.
Jeez.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
Final.
I didn't. Only Cody.
Damn it.
Okay.
Thou dumpeth.
Guys or girls
Thou
first?
picketh.
No. Girls first?
Ladies first.
Don't look. You cheat every week. Go ahead.
You just took the top one?
Yeah.
Creative.
Nisha Purewall.
Woo-woo.
Whoa, nice job.
All right.
Congratulations.
You got to email Jen, Jenn, at misfitathletics.com to claim your prize. Send your shirt size and other sizes and things. She'll take care of you. Guys, here we go. You looked again.
I did
I
not.
won. Favorites.
Jesus.
I won.
Casey Viator.
Why didn't I win?
Good job, Casey.
Nice job.
Winning stuff. Same thing. Jen,
Worked real hard for that
N at misfitathletics.com to claim your prize. And that is the top 20 from 19.3. Okay.
Now,
We just did 19.4. We kind of watched some people do 19.4 in Canada, even though their stream was pathetic. Cut out on us. Ridiculous.
Absurd.
Ridiculous.
Not even that far.
I mean, there was an open announcement. We couldn't even watch it. But
Should just drove up and watch now.
we heard
Might as well.
Vellner finished in 8 something? 8?
Right around 8:30.
8:30.
They
Okay.
flashed at 8:25, and he only had a few burpees left.
Now,
so.
we're very lucky to watch Pat go because I can't think of someone who would represent what this workout's supposed to be better than him. Obviously, Frazier, obviously, guys like Dakota Rager and Noah Olsen, also good candidates for this sort of workout. But the 8:30 mark is really, I think, like that gold standard.
So you're saying we were close?
Top 20. No.
Oh,
What
okay,
was your
never mind.
score?
I don't know. Like
it was
11,
either 11:16 or 11:26.
Probably 26.
What was your
Yeah.
score?
11:05.
So
I
his
didn't
was probably
finish.
11:16 then.
I didn't finish. So
Yeah, I don't know.
He had 4 burpees left. Hey,
Where'd you come from?
Drew's with us now.
Hey,
Okay.
we're back.
So what can you guys take away from it? Obviously, watching the best in the world do it, 8:30, really impressive. It's kind of what we'd expect anyway when you look at those 2 workouts. He went really fast, muscle snatches through the first one. His burpees were not some step and half turn. He
No.
was 2-foot jump and twist in the air, land and sprawl. Like, that's about as fast as you can get. He pushed that pace. He was definitely sub 3 in the first couplet, took his rest. And then, you do the math. He's about 3 minutes in the second one or
I
whatever.
mean, for the
So,
best,
savage.
like there's not a whole lot. I mean, I think it just comes down to whether or not you can hold on for all 3 sets of 10 on those bar muscle ups. You probably learned better than the 2 of us that you could go maybe a little bit slower than you think you need to in that first triplet, and still get a respectable time. But I mean,
not my time's not respectable.
well, yeah, but I mean,
like,
relative to where we finished, how
Yeah.
we looked after the workout.
yeah, you guys had like a 2.5-minute lead starting the second couplet, and I just had I had a handful of
Almost
burpees
caught
left
up.
to finish. So
Yeah.
but bar muscle ups are my strength, probably my best movement. So like that's gonna happen. But yeah, I mean, if we're talking the not random, but affiliate member or someone who might be following the blog just because they like what we do and they're not pushing for top 20, there is some pacing to be had,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
There's some serious strategy. I think you can even break up the barbell if you're just looking to see what somebody kind of in the mid pack of the open range of athlete can do to maximize their score. Because if you do hold on and do what Sherb did, Sherb exploded after the first workout.
Yeah, I had
Literally
a
exploded.
terrible strategy to start.
you
But
exploded during the first one. You did not look good like halfway through on. You kept going at the same pace, but like you look like you were having trouble just turning the bar over.
I think someone
getting
took
it
my
up over your
soul
head.
out after the second set of snatches. I didn't put it back
Yeah.
in until about 1 minute ago.
I-
I mean, looking at that workout again, like on paper, I was like, oh, it's going to hurt. But at the same time, like, I feel like you got to stomp the gas and try to see what you have. And I obviously stomped it a little too hard and I suffered big time in the second half because it took me almost 6 minutes to do the second couplet. And the first couplet took me 2.5 minutes. And I knew the second couplet would be slower, but not 3 times the amount of time that the first one took.
Movement efficiency and composure go a long way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
definitely not
not
composed.
all about the fact that it took you 2.5 minutes to do it. It's that you look like you were
That's it.
holding your breath.
It took
and
2.5 minutes. It took all my life away.
Exactly. Yeah, and the movement efficiency on the burpees is obviously something you've struggled with for a while. And,
Yep.
you see how Pat keeps himself so close to the ground all the time. Pat's neither a big athlete or a small athlete.
He's like 5'10".
Like he's a little bit
Yeah,
taller.
He's right where he needs to be.
Exactly.
Right in the pack, yeah.
But he stays, that's the one thing, especially if you're big, you have to stay low to the ground. You have to use your butt to come up, and you do not need to lock your arms out. You can kind of throw your feet forward as you're pulling yourself up. If you watch him, he's in this like predator, like all on all fours kind of position, and he's like leaping
It's
over
also
the bar.
very tight. His feet stay together.
Exactly.
His hands come in tight. His elbows are not flaring out, pressing up from the
Exactly.
bottom. He's very, very
Whereas
tight.
you could pause Sherb here with the
Hips on the floor.
yoga pose over and over and over,
Yeah.
and obviously
And just
Takes a lot of work.
the speed,
does.
like the volume of burpees, not super high, but the combination, just
Super
the movement
potent because it's so
combination,
small.
you really they start to get really challenging. And if you're pushing inefficiently in both the burpee and that bar muscle up, like that's going to hurt. Like the last 12 burpees, like I don't know if I could go any faster just because I didn't even want to push off the ground. And if you were doing that kind of hips up, bringing your feet a little bit further to the bar, that might be the difference.
I didn't mind the last 12. It was the other 54. There were 56.
That burpee standard changed
60.
back to
Yeah,
everyone
whatever
that
it
was
yeah, people were not
screaming
upset
about
on
us on Facebook Live. Why don't you read a fucking rule book before you say something next time?
Boom, roasted.
Nice job, though. So you can step again. You can both step down and step up, which is great for those of us, like I said, like me or people in the mid-pack who need to learn how to pace this sort of thing to have a shot at getting bar muscle-ups and getting far in the workout. But it's not always the fastest way to do burpees. If you need to rip off a 240 in this, you're more likely going to be kind of jumping with 2 feet, sprawling side to side, kind of like what Pat did, staying tight. Did you step the whole time?
No, I jumped for the first 2 rounds of the first couplet and stepped the 3rd round.
Okay.
And then I stepped the first 2 rounds on the second couplet, and then I think I
know it
jumped
feels
for the
like there were
ends.
3 couplets.
Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say 3rd couplet, but I was wrong.
It's funny.
So I'd say like
on the 8th couplet, I did
2 out of 6 rounds. I
doing
did.
handstand push
We
up.
talked
Jumping.
for years and years at camps about how stepping is obviously the most efficient way to do burpees when we have this kind of infinite loop of them and we don't know when they're going to end, or we have all these other movements mixed with them, or in a 20-minute AMRAP. This is that one circumstance we always preface saying like, well, there are exceptions to the rule. Actually, if you don't have time to pace anything, which you really don't if you're going for a competitive
20.
score.
It's 5 to 7 minutes of work.
Yeah,
Like, that's
exactly.
it.
That's not pacing, really.
No.
Especially with a huge, like a 3-minute rest is substantial for a CrossFitter. It's huge. You're basically starting brand new almost, unless you're sharp. And
Felt like hours.
I felt great after 3 minutes. So stepping is not going to be, I don't think, your path to success if you need to push this workout. It's just not, again, for me, for your average CrossFitter who's just trying to maximize what they can do in this
You
workout.
want to try to finish it, or do you want to have a good score?
Exactly. It's great. And I think the combination you can do if you do want to bring one foot up before the other is you can kind of do that side like surfer straddle, that exaggerated surfer where like you kick that front foot all the way to the barbell and you kind of do the landing like 1 foot, 2 foot, and then you're already at the bar to jump over. I think that is fast enough. We'll see athletes do that as opposed to the straight on jump and twist in the air. But just the step and turn and pivot is just too slow, I think.
This might be like this might be a small thing, but with that step, if you're bringing your knee up, that really like aggressive hip flexion, that starts to add up when you have to go burpee bar muscle up combo. Like if you've never done a toes to bar burpee or like a push up power snatch, push up burpee, like that kind of combination, that is super taxing on your midline, and that can add up. That like aggressive knee up to the chest for the step. I don't know if it's that much more efficient.
I didn't notice that, but I was going pretty slow. So
Yeah, I mean,
Me too.
you're going to have some form of, whether it's 2 feet together and then jump and turn, or 2 feet as part of the turn and then jump and finish. Those are the only 2 styles that are gonna cut it to try and qualify for the CrossFit.
36 is not a lot of burpees, but it's not a few burpees either. It's
a
enough.
deceiving number.
Yeah, it's
very
enough
deceiving.
that if it's half a second slower doing it another style, you're giving away 18 seconds per couplet. There isn't room for that.
No.
So,
Just throw away 36 seconds. What does it matter, right?
I mean, you did.
Just kidding. Oh, yeah. For sure I did.
I mean, is there anything really to talk about with the power snatch? I think those going that are going to be the best are going to be able to muscle snatch this without much
Skip
question.
the hip, up and
It's-
down.
yeah.
Yeah, fast.
It's not really. I mean, I suppose you could get
High
away
power
with power snatch. I think you can get away with it at the end if your pull is feeling fatigued. I think you could do the last 3 or whatever of each set. Just you don't have to pull as high. I don't think it'll really make a huge impact on the bar muscle ups with that big rest in there. If you went straight from one to the other, I think you'd be in big trouble doing just muscle snatching. Well, you could be, but I don't think there's much to talk about with power snatches. Or
No.
I should say muscle
I think it's the
snatches.
same idea. It's
Composure,
just like
breathe.
exactly like the burpee, composure and movement efficiency. If your balance isn't there, if you're one of those people where it's heel toe, and you're kind of all over the place, those seconds are going to add up in the same way. It's just going to be like every other rep or every third rep or something like that.
Yeah.
So having your feet cemented into the floor, actually using that hip extension, that kind of thing, you have to think about those things at the highest level.
There's a huge difference between that frantic touch and go power snatch for 10 reps and
Like I
a
did.
calm, like collected, still touch and go, but like you said, maintaining your composure. Like
Right.
you can still rip those 10 too fast for sure.
Yeah, and like again, I would talk more about the snatch if we didn't have that big rest in there, but
Yeah.
the snatch doesn't affect the bar muscle
And
ups the
because
way
it's
that
so
it
light.
could because it's A, light, and B, 3 minutes rest on both your grip, midline, heart rate, whatever. The bar muscle ups, I felt brand new, and I hate snatching. Like, it didn't bother me at all. So even someone who holds on for 3 sets of 10, it's just not going to be a factor. Even if you're someone who's weaker at bar muscle ups, you're not going to, there's no sense in pacing the first half to make up time on the second one because you'll be smoother. Like, I guess in your, you don't count because you're not going to the top 20, but
no chance.
for those that are making a push, it doesn't translate that way because you have that big gap in the middle. So
Yeah, again, this note is for someone who's trying to finish the workout, not shoot for a top 20, which again is a decent chunk of our audience, is that you may be able to teeter that red line a little bit better to have a chance to finish the second one if you're, again, trying to finish it.
I think you could have traded 15 seconds in the first one for about 30 in the second.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Is that I
one
could
or
have
two
gone
fewer sets on your bar muscle ups.
I could have gone a little bit slower in the first half, not crossed my red line, and like I was yelling for James to grab me water, and I was like rolling around the ground with like a minute left before it was time to go.
25 to 30 seconds when you had 2 bar muscle ups left. You're just like,
Can you imagine what would have happened to me if I tried to hold on 3 sets of 10?
Yeah,
I wouldn't have done the
demolish
second.
you,
I wouldn't have even done the second workout.
And you were saying like your grip didn't bother you. Mine grip bothered me a little bit, but again, that could have been just being frantic. Like again, the biggest thing I would say for everybody, and we've said this for 3 weeks now, is get yourself good and like lubed up, get sweaty, ride a bike, row, get really sweaty, mobilize, and then do the best prime of your life, because this one is going to punch you in the face if you don't. So I mean, that's just my 2 cents on it, is that definitely could have prioritized a little bit better warm up. Make sure you spike your heart rate a bunch of times before you go. Otherwise you are in trouble.
And don't like you rest during your time under tension. That's the biggest issue. Like you don't go down and pop up and then do like slow footwork. So you creating all this extra stuff. So like that wrist flexion, like probably not great for, you're like slowly moving through while you're working. Whereas if somebody else was to go at the exact same pace as you on the burpees, but down up, again,
Take
slower
like a
footwork,
max.
It's going to be a lot easier for them to do bar muscle ups.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I definitely had that like kind of wormy push up in the last couplet, and it smoked like pecs and triceps on the bar muscle up. Grip was never a factor, but that turnover and what you think is a non-factor of that dip, certainly not going to fail a dip, but it was challenging, and it makes that turnover that much more difficult. It might be the difference between reducing your number of sets by 1 or 2, which is a huge difference.
That's the trick your upper body's always going to play on you. You use it more when it hurts more. It makes no sense, but you do it.
Yeah, you do. You know what I love about this workout?
It's over.
Well, I'm glad I did it.
Good. Dude.
No, like for real. If this was, again, if this rest makes such a great component for this workout, because if this rest wasn't there and it was just like 3 rounds, then 3 rounds, you'd have people throwing out strategies like, what if we do the first round as an EMOM and then I rest at the end of and then what if I do the second round? It's like, no, that's not an option now. You have to go. You have to go. Yes, if your bar muscle ups are a struggle in your second and third set, there obviously is a strategy to how you're going to break those up, how you're going to get through it. But there's no fancy way to break up the first part and the second part. You're trying to finish. It's for time. It's not for anything else.
Yeah.
So you need to go. And I just like that it brings that intensity in this piece and takes people out of those just ridiculous strategies that I hear year in and year out that I don't have to deal with this year. It's great.
You know, put the 15s on the outside of the 10s, and then clips are one way's this way, one's that way. No,
yeah, I like those. I like that.
I just hate / love the burpee and pull-up bar
I was hoping you were
combination.
going to list a bunch of things you'd liked and didn't like.
Yeah.
That's really open
I
for.
love guys scream.
Yeah.
I like turtles.
I do like
turtles.
Yeah.
both of those things.
That's really hoping to be a nice long list.
Such a deceiving, that like hip closing combination sucks.
Great.
Yeah,
any final words on the workout? Any predictions? Like we saw an 8:30-ish from Pat. I mean, I think that
Many
Matt
people are
can
going to go
challenge
sub
him.
8.
I think
Many?
I think
Mini.
Oh,
No.
mini. I was like,
Hundreds.
wow.
No.
Dang.
I think sub 8 is doable for the smaller
Handful,
athlete.
yeah.
It is.
Rep speed is just so fast.
Like
There's a lot of
Hefner.
reps in it.
Come on, Dakota. Do something. Yeah.
I like Frazier.
Yeah, I do too, obviously.
Proud of you to
752.
admit that.
Yeah, pick the champion. Real good.
752.
It's definitely a Noah workout. No
It
doubt
is.
about that.
741.
The Travis Williams workout, if
Send it,
it's
kid.
got potential to be a Travis Williams.
Gonna do the first
He
couplet.
shouldn't
in
take last this week. He shouldn't
123.
have another pig tattoo on his stomach.
It's a good one, though. It's a solid. Who's the artist? We know.
Who is
Really?
the artist?
Yeah, it's a good drawing.
Esslinger, I think, sent the photo and then sister drew it.
I really like the pig's anus.
The
Like
pig
it's the belly
asshole on his
button.
belly
That's my
button.
favorite
You
part
gonna
of
go
that.
get inked?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be my new tattoo.
Anything else, guys? I mean,
Frank. No, sorry. Go
I
ahead.
feel like this just every time I say this over and over again, but this year, like, there's just less strategy. Like we've said so many things in the last 5-6 years in these podcasts about like people are still trying to give you a whiteboard and break down times and shit. Like if you haven't figured this stuff out yet,
Your fitness will
You're in
shine
trouble.
through. always
Do the
every
work.
single time. Even a lot of times, if you have a bad strategy, it just sort of means that you went fast at the beginning, and then whoever would have tied you in the first place maybe ties you. Maybe you win by a second. Maybe you lose by a second. Because we used to, like 2011, 2012, we used to think about stuff like that. It'd be like,
Yeah.
let's try it this way. And then you get one more rep or one less rep. You're like, fuck.
Just
Did I really do that
everybody's
workout
so fit.
again?
Everything's a race now.
What
It's
we're,
not even like a strategy. It's just a race.
what we're finding is that, and I don't know if it's going to be true in this one. Actually, this might be the one like thing against the rule, but we're finding that people always do better in the second test, not because they figured something out, but because they're just like aware of what the test is.
Of
and then they
course.
go into it and they can always improve the second time through.
If you were in school and they gave you the
Right.
test and you took it, and they're
Yeah.
like, you can take that again Monday.
Yeah. Just got to remember. And then
Like,
you
you
guys
guys
take
can
it
do that?
again.
It's just me? All right, never mind. Sorry.
Special room.
Winner.
This is me.
Although I will say this is one where you could really screw yourself up if you don't approach it the right way the first time. Like, yeah, you could do it a few times, but then you're risking ripping your hands up. Then you're risking like blowing. I mean, this is a weird one. We've never seen something with such a huge
It's
gap
pretty hard
of
to
rest
call
in there.
upon that like 100% effort more than like once or twice like
Yeah.
in a week.
Yeah, this is the real intensity piece of the Open. So far.
So
Yeah.
far.
But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. See some good scores.
Yep.
Final word. That's it. No final word.
Go
Word.
fast.
Word.
Okay. All right, guys. We'll, as always, post what we figure out between now and Saturday on our Instagram. A couple tips for you. And we'll be back, of course, next week with 19.5. So until then,
Thanks
bid
for
you
watching.
adieu. Good night.
Bye.